Warning. The following podcast is intended for a mature audience due to the dropping of bombs of the F, S, B, and C varieties. Listener discretion is advised.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Welcome to Waffle Box, a podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 171. One man has been accused of having chestnuts of steel. Is the cactus an endangered species? Peter Dinklage teams up with Thor in this week's movie review, plus much, much more. Ooh, that rhymed. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. By the way, it's Thanos, not Thor. But Kush Hayes here, coming to you all the way from the future home of Super Bowl 60. It's the Waffle Box podcast, the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitutions because it is the best part of Wednesdays. You love us because we do this, and we do this because we love you. Producer Lathan, what's going on?
What's cooking, fellas? What a weekend it was. The New York Liberty were crowned WNBA champions. Plus, the Dodgers and Yankees both made it to the World Series. I wonder what odds Shohei Ohtani got on all of that happening.
Ooh! What a zinger! What a zinger!
Well, as always, I took an oath on top of a mountain during a thunderstorm. I have to root against the Dodgers at all costs, so go Yankees. However, the aforementioned Shohei Ohtani, amazing fucking player, and Aaron Judge, amazing fucking player. This is going to be a great series this year, actually. I should watch it. I should watch it. And by the way, both broadcast teams, some of the nicest professionals I've ever had the pleasure of working with.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Yeah, I will only be mad if the Yankees lose. How about that?
That's good stance to be. But yeah, do you know, ironically, not to talk too much sports, but out of it's been hyped up as the Shohei Ohtani versus Aaron Judge World Series. But I'll tell you, Aaron Judge has still been very quiet this postseason. It's been the Juan Soto and Giancarlo Stanton show over in the Yankees side of things.
Okay. Has Aaron Judge not been performing like he was in the regular season? Because I saw that guy hit the ball 4 out of 5 times one game.
I think throughout this whole postseason, where I think the Yankees have played 9 games, I think, this postseason.
Okay, sounds right.
Aaron Judge is up to like 1 home run, I think. He's only hit 1 home run this postseason.
Okay. Is he getting on base, though? That's more important. I mean, we all love a home run, but is he getting on?
He's doing a lot of offers this year, which is not good.
On base.
Yeah, a lot of offers.
Okay.
A lot of offers.
Well, that might be a challenge then. Well, again, when the Giants won the World Series in 2010, we did it without Barry Bonds, and we went from a team that was built around Barry Bonds to a team just built. So maybe the Yankees should sit down Aaron Judge.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm just excited that the fact that we've made it to the World Series. I say we, I have no part in it myself, but the fact that if Aaron Judge shows up at the World Series, we're gonna be unstoppable. Sure. We're gonna be unstoppable.
Oh, if the proverbial Aaron Judge and not the okay.
Yes.
Again, that dude's fucking amazing. When he's playing, he's a fucking amazing player.
I think one thing we can, because again, I'm not too familiar with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know they've got Shohei Ohtani, but there's going to be a lot of home runs this World Series. That's all I'm going to say. There's going to be a lot of home runs.
That seems to be a thing, though, just in baseball this last 5 years. Something right before the pandemic happened, and all of a sudden the scores are they're like football scores. Like it's pretty wild. But yeah, I worked an Oakland Athletics game at the top of the summer. The Dodgers were there, and Shohei Ohtani not just came out of center field, but came out of a wall out of center field. They take it apart so tractors and all that shit can go in and out and whatever. Anyway. I
know Aaron Judge ran into that fucking fence and hurt his ankle.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Anyway, Ohtani comes out. he's got his translator, he's got his assistant, and then there's like two more
His bookie.
people, and they're just maybe. But like what I'm getting at, man, if you let me finish, is they're walking back towards the dugout, and I looked at my cameraman, and I was like, I feel like we just witnessed some gangster shit just happen there. Because they had that fucking that strut, that swagger, like we just did some naughty shit. Like,
we were
they maybe just
smoking
had an
under the
interview
bleachers.
maybe they may have just had an interview with NHK too, but I don't know. But that's what it looked like.
So that's our sports section over. What have you been up to this past week? How you been, Kush?
I've been okay. I worked my first Warriors game of the season. It was the last game of the preseason.
NBA's back.
The Golden State Warriors.
NBA's back.
The Lakers by like 40 points. And it's preseason, so it really doesn't matter. In fact, it might even be worse. They went undefeated in the preseason, which is never really a good sign I've found. Like I find the worse you do in the preseason, the better you do in the regular season. But
I concur.
Yeah. So I'm not stoked about that. Was working with ESPN, and they normally squeeze blood out of a stone. Like they ask for a lot and they expect a lot, and they actually went in with like limited resources this year. There's like it's just a preseason game. It's just the Warriors who didn't do great last year. Lakers, no one really cares. Having said that, though, like it was still a 16-hour day, and I was still taxed for like 2 of them after that. So, otherwise, it was based on that, it was a very mellow weekend. But I wanted to bring something up a few weeks ago. I watched the Mr. McMahon docu-series on Netflix.
Oh yes.
We wanted to talk about it, and then you got sick or whatever. But did you watch any of it?
I did. I was rather, maybe because I'm a wrestling nerd and I read up on the news. I was rather
I feel
underwhelmed.
like you're gonna say this, like, you heard everything already.
Yeah, it was nothing new.
There's nothing new for you or me. Yeah. The most intriguing thing was as they're sitting down, like it's day 2 or day 3 of their interviews or whatever, like the lawsuit came out, and you're like, and they just keep the camera rolling, but he's like, I gotta walk away, and then they like you can see him off in the background, everything's inaudible, but you're just like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And then they do kind of get into some of the later scandal, but not in.
It was all wrapped up in like one episode. So Chris Benoit shit, and then the Janelle Grant lawsuit. It was just all good. Oh, by the way, there was some weird, crazy shit happened. The end.
Yeah, that was it. Okay. So you and I are on the same page then. It's like nothing we haven't heard before, and it's just kind of like, what did you feel was missing? Because I know we can't talk about everything, and the sole focus was Mr. McMahon, but like, like
well, it wasn't. It felt, to me at least, it felt like it started off like a Vince McMahon documentary talking about his youth, and then it kind of ended on a Vince McMahon documentary talking about the lawsuits that are currently going on. But the bulk of it was basically the history of the WWF/WWE.
Well, he is the.
I mean, obviously, yeah, he was a big part of the company, but it just felt like what are we doing here? Like, why are we telling this story? Because for me, like I said, I knew everything, I'd heard everything before, but I'm sure there are some casual people or people who maybe used to watch wrestling way back in the day, and then they're maybe watching this and they're probably thinking, what the fuck? This is crazy. Like, oh my God. But it just felt like it was just treading water a lot. And it's like, and then WrestleMania 6, we did this. Like, what? What is this about, Mr. McMahon? I don't know. It just, to me, just felt like a lot of fluff.
As always, these Netflix shows can be like 1 or 2 episodes shorter, which is crazy because they're like only 5 or 6 episodes as it is these days, But yeah, it was not much there that was new to me. In fact, not a lot of it was not new to me. But yeah, it's well done.
It's very, the production values, I guess, were very good, and etc. But I think maybe the timing of it was poor because obviously they were already pre-production and stuff like that. But I think there'll probably be another McMahon documentary once the lawsuits have been settled one way or the other. Because then it's kind of like the final of the story. Whereas this
are we still in lawsuits with this man?
Yeah, so Janelle Grant's lawsuit. If you haven't, we're not. I think we did maybe a bit of story back in the day, but
that's the assistant, and she got shit
yeah,
in her
Google
hair,
Janelle Grant WWE or Janelle Grant
hey,
Vince Man. You'll get the whole fucking
that poor
crazy
lady.
shit graphic story of it all. But so she has a civil lawsuit against him right now, but then it's on pause. I don't know the technical terminology of it, but I think it's on pause or something like that because the federal government are investigating him over some shit. And obviously they don't want other lawsuits, other things getting involved. So until the federal investigation is over, Janelle Grant's lawsuit is on pause. But once federal investigation is over, either they're gonna go after him, and which then fuck, that's not good. If they spend 18 months investigating you and then they go, we've decided we're gonna prosecute you, it's probably not good news. But if that just goes away, then the civil lawsuit continues on. But yeah, there's whether everyone says, oh well, you have to believe the woman, or there's the innocent until proven guilty camp. You never know the true story because obviously I'm not Vince McMahon. I don't know Vince McMahon. I don't know Janelle Grant. Never been there. Never blah 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 blah. Blah. But the text messages are out there of what he's said to her, and if they were false, he would have said they were false, but because text messages are very easy to prove right, because you can just go to the cell phone company and go, these legit. He is fun, fucked up individual. Jesus Christ. That's all I can say about that.
There you go.
But I mean, yeah, if you're kind of a casual wrestling fan or you used to watch wrestling back in the day, yeah, it probably is an interesting documentary to watch. But if you're plugged in, and it's nothing new. It's like meh. But there you go. What was that similar thoughts then to you?
No, for sure.
100%.
Yeah. If only it was harder for me to go like, well, what's missing from this? And like I think having the McMahon Hogan match at like Mania 20 could have been brought up, or was that 19? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, 19.
Like they showed a clip from it too with him rising up from the ring just covered in blood. Like, I'd like to know why that man thought it'd be okay to have one to stab Hulk Hogan in the face with a pen repeatedly, but like what's going on there? There were things that I thought they could have gone deeper into and just completely flat out ignored. And then yeah, but everything else I'm just like, oh yeah, read about this, read about that, saw a WWE video about it once upon a time. Like, surprised they didn't go into the cocaine usage, which maybe now there wasn't.
I think what it was, I think they generally had pretty much the majority of the documentary finished, of where it was just going to be literally a story of his life. And then shit hit the fan. And so you can see they definitely shoehorned that in. And they just pretty much, well, we've got all this footage, we've done all the work, fuck it, let's just keep it in. So it was a bit of a
that's how the Montreal Screwjob documentary was. They were just doing a thing about Bret Hart, and then like, oh shit, all this other thing is happening now.
Resting with Shadows. If you don't know, check it out. Very interesting documentary.
Yeah, it's a good doc. It's a good doc.
But anyway, yeah, what's happening in my life? I'm still sick somehow. Jesus Christ. You remember how we missed an episode 2 weeks ago because I was sick? Still fucking sick.
I do. It was a sad week.
Fuck me. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. I think it's safe to say you got the vid, as the cool kids say. Oh, some of them also call it the Rona. But yeah, so I remember December 2019. I remember this dude coughing on me at fucking Best Buy while I'm Christmas shopping. I was like, you motherfucker. And then a few hours later, that little tickle in the back of your throat, I'm like, oh no.
That motherfucker.
And at first I thought I just had a cold. And yes, there's all this stuff in the background going about this. There's this new virus coming out of China. And I was just like, nah, this probably ain't that. Like people are dying from that. They already closed down in China because of that. They ain't this. Once the virus actually made it to America officially with Tom Hanks and they started lifting off symptoms, it had already been a couple months. But at the time I was just like, it's been 3 weeks. I cannot shake this fucking flu. Like the worst has been behind me, but like there's still all this going on there. And then again, Tom Hanks got it, and then they started lifting off the symptoms. I was like, oh, so that's what that was Christmas time.
I call it Tom Hanks virus. God damn it.
Wouldn't that be great if we renamed it the Tom Hanks virus? I don't have a problem with Tom Hanks, by the way. I know that's a thing these days.
Oh, you got THV? Oh, yeah, I got THV.
Copyright.
Maybe that's what we should just do.
2024.
From now on, even though we're very late, it's a virus named after the year 2019, and we're almost over 2024, so we're a bit late to the game. But fuck it, we're naming it now. I've been suffering with THV for the last 2.5 weeks.
Copyright Waffle Box 2024.
Copyright Waffle Box 2024. So let us know in the comment section below. Have you had THV recently?
Have you been tested for THV? THV is preventable.
Yeah, it's just stay away from dirty motherfuckers.
Speaking of THV,
but unfortunately, I work in a restaurant in Edgewater, New Jersey. It's impossible to avoid dirty motherfuckers.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's called Edgewater because obviously it's on the edge of the water. It's right by the Hudson River. So you have New York City, Hudson River, New Jersey, Edgewater. And the people that are from Edgewater, we affectionately call them river rats. They are.
I was going to make a joke that adds up, but that was also a funny detail. So I'm going to continue forward. Speaking about THV, I'm still seeing people wearing masks, not to the degree we saw obviously 2 and 3 years ago. But I'm still seeing people wearing masks. I'm not judging. You're wearing your mask because you're wearing your mask. And if you feel you need to wear your mask, by all means, wear your mask. But you know what I'm also seeing? You dumb cunts are still doing this shit where your nose is exposed. Or it's just around your goddamn chin. And it's like, hey, man, the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm going to make more fun of you for that.
I did appreciate that people at work when they were doing there was a team meeting and it was like, well, hey, look, as like cold and flu seasons coming around, we know people will want to wear masks at the restaurant. And they said, but we have a rule here at the restaurant when it comes to masks. I was like, oh shit, what are they going to say? And they were just like, we're all grown adults. If you're going to wear a fucking mask, cover your mouth and your nose. It's not a fucking chin strap. It's not a bad cover. I was like, yeah.
Seriously, this is a thing still. This is still a thing.
But now, I must admit, now it's like 4 years later, 4.5 years later, I still wear masks occasionally, but now I'm at the point of, depending on where I am, I only wear a mask if I'm sick, and I'm kind of trying to avoid getting other people sick. But if I'm feeling fine, I never wear a fucking mask anymore.
Very considerate. I wore a mask all the way up until I got onto an airplane for Amsterdam, and I was just like, this is happening or it's not. And then I haven't looked back since. I still keep a mask on me in case, someone gets pissy or whatever. But yeah, I'm still seeing people doing this bullshit. And I'm more prone to make fun of you for that. Not for actually attempting to wear the mask, but for not wearing it properly.
Well, I do believe if you go back, I don't know which number it was, a very early episode of Waffle Box.
Very early in the series.
I compared wearing a mask and not covering your nose to wearing a pair of underwear but having your dick hanging out. It's like, well, if you're gonna wear them, cover everything up, you dick.
My balls get cold, but my dick gets hot, baby.
What am I gonna do? Life's about balance. Anyway, shall we get into this week's top stories?
Yes, I think we're warmed up. Let's roll.
We are warmed up.
I hope you're feeling
better. We'll see by the end of the show. Producer Lathan, if you could press the beepity boopity buttons. It's now time for this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
We've got a lot to cover this week. A lot has happened on this spherical rock. Let's start with the quick ones. Kush, you've been to airports, haven't you, in your lifetime?
Yes, a couple times now.
And how often is it like when you're trying to get through, maybe you have to check in luggage or you have to check in or you have to go to the security line and, sometimes you get lucky. But a lot of the times, there's just a lot of fucking people at the airport, and you just within 5 minutes you start getting annoyed because like, why is there so many people here? I'm trying to get to this, and you're stressing out. Oh my god,
anxiety and the claustrophobia for me, so
much shit going on, right? And finally, a New Zealand airport, has found the cure for overcrowding in airports.
Urging.
Now you're thinking maybe what? They maybe installed more security gates, or maybe hired more people to work at the airports to get through people quicker. Maybe. Or they have now made it, I don't want to say illegal, but against airports rules if you hug for too long.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, if you're dropping off people at an airport, if you're on the premises, in the building, if you hug for longer than 3 minutes,
Oh, okay.
a member of staff will intervene and kick you out of the airport.
Oh, okay, so this is much different than what I was thinking. So, like, we've all dropped off that loved one, and like they're like, "Go on, I'll be fine." But you get the bags on the curb, and then you give them a little hug, and then some fucking cop, fine, they're doing their goddamn job, but they're like, "All right, move it along." We were like, "Hey, I'm saying goodbye here. Like, we haven't been here an hour. It's not even been a minute and a half."
She's flying in a Boeing. This might be the last time I see her alive.
Seriously, that's a possibility, dude. So, but this is different. They're saying like you've parked the car, you've helped your friend, your loved one into the airport. You're finally just at the gate. You're saying good night, goodbye, and if it goes longer than 3 minutes, they're gonna just escort you out.
Yes, they have signs up now in this airport that says max hug time 3 minutes. For fonder farewells, please use the car park.
Oh, suck it, dick. Suck it, dick, New Zealand.
But to be fair,
that's crazy. That's coming from the United States.
To be fair, I'm not against it. I'm not against it.
Really?
Because maybe it's just like because I am from the New Jersey, New York metropolitan area, and airports around here are crazy. And whenever I have to drop people off at the airport, my only thought is, God, that traffic when I try to get home. So I'm if I had my way when I'm dropping someone off the airport, I will just slow down a little bit, open a door, push them out, then just keep going. I'll just keep going.
Well, as we've just established, like you've parked the car, you guys have walked through the terminal, like you're in short-term or long-term parking. This isn't right outside where you just go like, "Well, nice to see you, Mike. Your bags are on the hasta la vista." Like we're not talking about that. We're talking about like I've walked you to the security gate, and now I'm going to give you a big old man hug.
Yeah, but no, even then, I'm just kind of like, what am I doing here right now? All I'm thinking of is the drive home. Oh, this is gonna be horrific.
So this isn't going to affect you.
Can I leave now? Can I go?
You're just dropping people off on the curb. That's going to be you. That's going to be you, and that's going to be most people, and that's okay too. Okay, but this is from what you just told me. You're literally inside the terminal. You're right outside the first security checkpoint, and they're saying 3 minutes. Get gone.
I want to know whose job it is to watch this. Like, have they got stopwatches?
Yes. The anal ones will have stopwatches, and then the other one will just like, I don't like the way you look. Yeah, it's only been 2 minutes, but get the fuck out of here. That's New Zealand. Like,
well, it's like robots hovering around the airport, and as soon as you hit 3 minutes, this drone comes down and pepper sprays you.
I mean, those places are also fucking filled with cameras, so I imagine some dork behind a computer monitor is going to like, "Hey, section red, you see that guy in the red flannel with the bandana? They've been there 4 minutes now. 86 in.
Moving on.
Yeah. And then some guy named George or whatever his name is will be like, "Excuse me, sir, you gotta go." All right, excuse me, sir, you gotta go. That's how he says.
I'm all for it. Speaking of stupid shit, the BBC, not Black Cocks, but the British Broadcasting Company from the UK, they had to issue an apology recently.
They don't do that lightly either.
No. So they apologized to its users after its weather app mistakenly showed forecasts for, quote, hurricane force winds near London and temperatures of over 400 degrees Celsius in Nottingham.
What happened here?
So there was obviously a glitch in the system, right?
Definitely.
And BBC weather forecasters were quick to point out the issue and make clear the incorrect graphics were being looked into, with meteorologist Simon King writing on Twitter, quote, "Be assured there won't be 14,408 mile per hour winds."
That's good to know.
And overnight temperatures of, and I'll use Fahrenheit for our American listeners, of 760 degrees Fahrenheit. It's being looked at and hopefully sorted as soon as possible. He added he appreciated the graphic may have caused some confusion. To who? Right? Do you know what? If I check the weather app and it says, oh, it's going to be 760 degrees, my first thought isn't, oh my God, that's really fucking hot. My first thought is, well, that's obviously wrong. Who out there is getting confused by these 14,000 mile per hour winds when they look outside and the tree is just like, oh, it must building up. Oh, look at that. It's starting. Like that. Think, people, think.
Is the United Kingdom prone to hurricanes or
No.
tornadoes? No, not at all. Not even a little bit, right?
It's hardly a tropical island.
It's far from it, in fact.
Far from it. Although, as I have mentioned, my namesake, Michael Fish, the weatherman, once got in trouble back in the late 80s for forecasting. Oh, there's rumors that there's going to be a hurricane coming through. Well, FYI, you can trust me. I'm a weatherman. That's horse shit. He didn't say that exactly, but you know what I mean. He downplayed it, to which followed a hurricane that came through and killed many people in Britain.
Oh my God.
So he's kind of like, it's a running joke. Like, that's my thing. Whenever people say, "Oh, your name's Michael Fish," what's the weather gonna be like? Huh? Is it gonna be windy?
Do you get that a lot?
No, well, not anymore.
Okay,
I used to as a child when I had no idea what the fuck was reference was.
Oh, they're doing that to children. That's terrible.
No, teachers can be so cruel. But
teachers are stupid.
Teachers are stupid. But
yeah. I have a sinking suspicion this was someone's first day or a mischievous intern. My reference is a Taiwanese airline went down, and the Bay Area's own KTVU reported that members of the pilot staff, these are Asian names, but holy shit, CHIT was one of the there was three others, bang damn knee, something like that. Like they're wildly racist, incredibly funny. But yeah, it's one of those things where KTV had to issue an apology. It's like, yeah, someone was playing games back there and we have promptly fired them. So our bad.
Speaking of that, I mean, I won't say who this was or where this was, to because I don't want to get involved in this. But I heard someone had brought in some candies. Right? Someone brought some candies, fruit flavored candies. Ooh,
sure.
And one person offered another person who was of African American descent, shall we say? And they was like, "Would you like some of my fruit candies?" And the African American person said, "No, I would not like any of your fruit candies." To which the other person replied, "But they're watermelon flavored." I was, oh shit. Oh, did you really say that? Oh my God. Fucking hell.
But who doesn't love watermelon also at the same time? I get where you're going with this, and I get the point of the discrepancy.
It's just the pure innocence in that, like, because I don't think it was meant to be horrific.
I agree,
but it was just the innocence of like, "Huh? You don't want watermelon flavored?" And it's like, oh Jesus Christ!
Might be the one guy who doesn't like watermelon. Like,
I mean, who doesn't?
Not my favorite fruit either, but I might have had some watermelon candy that day.
Can we real quick talk about that? Because I was thinking about that, right?
Oh, what's up?
Well, you know how like it's stereotypes often are derogatory. You know, like how like Asian people apparently can't drive, and Irish people are always violent drunks, and yada yada yada, right?
Sure.
And then the one I often hear about our African American friends is that one, they have big penises. Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
I've dated several women who will say that is false.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, stereotype. It's the worst stereotype in the world to have.
Yeah, what a great stereotype to have.
Right. and the others is like, oh, they like chicken and watermelon. Yeah, well, who doesn't fucking like chicken and watermelon? They're two great. What I don't understand why we're picking on them for this reason.
That's a Nick Kroll joke.
Yeah. Oh, black people eat chicken. I fucking eat chicken. What's the point? I don't understand.
I've boasted about I've probably eaten over 500 chickens in my life.
No, I think you went higher than that number. And
higher than that.
We used mathematics to debunk your claims, because I think your claim to how many chickens you ate, it worked out. I think you'd eat 18 chickens every day since you were born.
Every day,
literally. So I don't think that was the case. But yeah, so yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, it's very odd uses of stereotypes. For that. Cactuses. Ooh. Bunch of pricks. Boom. No. Wrong drum roll, Ethan.
A little long. But
Wrong drum roll.
That's okay. We go for it.
There we go. Thank you very much. But the moment's gone. Anyway, so Germany. Oh, Germany.
The Germans.
Oh, if one nation has been known to make incredibly inappropriate, rash decisions, it's our friends over in Germany. So a German town has banned cactuses, or cacti, that's the proper plural name, from the town hall, schools, and nurseries.
I'm surprised there were any cacti in Germany. Period.
Yeah, I'm sure they imported them.
Well, they would have to have. Well, not necessarily. But anyway.
Okay. The mayor of Plettenberg, near Dusseldorf, banned the spiky plants from municipal buildings after a man required medical attention from injuring himself on a cactus in a school building.
Why did you have your penis out in a school building, sir?
Wow.
What?
Whoa. What was an injury to an adult man's arm? Yeah, sure, his arm. Could easily have been a serious injury to the face for a small child.
Nice.
The council reportedly said the nature of the injury could not be disclosed due to the need to protect the personal rights and privacy of our staff. What? Right, so you've already claimed that he hurt his arm on a cactus, unless his arm somehow was severed by this cactus.
I just don't want to say it's Dieter Koternig.
He just got pricked by it and was like, ow!
I thought you Germans were tougher than that.
Yeah, what a little bitch.
Calling you out.
But
by the way, I've been stabbed. I've been pricked by a cactus. It fucking hurts. And it wasn't like a big thing where it's like where the needle is as big as my index finger here. Like it's a little one. You thought,
yeah.
And then you're like, oh my god, now I got like 5
I'm assuming in Germany, much like where we are, the most you're gonna get is one of those tiny little plants and like the little cacti, which is like maybe 6 to 8 inches tall, like the tiny ones.
Tiny one, yeah.
Tiny one. I'm pretty sure they haven't got the big fuck off ones.
You know, I bet the big fuck off ones are pretty easy to import also. Like, I mean, those things last without water forever.
But yeah, why you got...
That's the whole gimmick.
If you did
why are you surprised that you got pricked?
Why have you got one of those in the fucking office? And if you have got one of those giant fucking ones, where you going? Dick. But yeah, at most, if you brush against a cacti, at most you can be like, oh fuck, gee, fuck, that hurt. Oh jeez.
Someone in Deutschland,
but you're not gonna be like,
visited
that's it,
New
get
Mexico,
rid of
and
it. I never want to see a fucking cactus again.
This is a bizarre story, and I hope we actually get a follow up on it, but we probably won't. But they're getting rid of So what's we've outlawed cactuses, or we're just not having it in this school?
So in the town of Plattenburg, if you go to any municipal building, i.e., school, nursery, the town hall, any of the government buildings,
sure,
you'll never see another cactus again.
I don't know.
You are now safe. The people.
What will the indigenous Mexican people think now? Like,
Dios míos.
Dios míos. Por favor. No me gusto.
Una más cerveza, por favor.
Oh.
Anyway, final news story this week. Controversy, Kush. Controversy. We got some scandal. Scandal, I say. So have you...
Kansas Chiefs game again?
No. But Taylor Swift is there. Have mercy. Have you ever heard of or played, but to be fair, I'm gonna assume you haven't played this game. Have you ever heard of the game Conkers?
No, at least I don't. How do you say it?
Conkers.
Bonkers?
Conkers.
Conkers. Spell it.
Conkers. C-O-N-K-E-R-S. Conkers.
Is it a little Neanderthal guy with a big head?
How would that be a game?
Okay,
please show your workings.
It was an old 16-bit game. It was an old 16-bit game from back in the day. So okay. I'm going to say no. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to say no.
No, so what it was, right? So it would be a playground game.
Okay, yeah.
So he was at school. And so you'd pick up a chestnut that had fallen from the tree.
Okay.
And then you would drill a hole through the chestnut. Obviously, you wouldn't do this at school. You'd wait until you get home and your parent would help you.
Okay.
And then you would put a shoelace through the hole, tie a knot in one end, and now this chestnut is hanging at the end of the shoelace.
Sounds awful.
Now you have a conker. And then what you would do is you would hold the end of the shoelace in one hand and the chestnut in the other hand, and you would launch your chestnut at another man's or woman's chestnut, and you would both take turns trying to hit each other's chestnut until one of the chestnuts broke and came off of the shoelace.
Oh, fascinating.
And that, so for whatever reason, was called
You're a distance
Conkers.
Apart. You're not trying to hit your opponent. You are trying to hit their chestnut, though.
Yeah, you're trying to hit the chestnut.
Oh, okay. That
chestnut on chestnut violence.
Okay.
That is the game of Conkers, right?
Fascinating. No, we don't have anything like that here.
Okay. So, the fact that people used to play that game for fun might shock a lot of people, but wait until you find out that there's an actual World Conkers Championship
I believe
that has been running since 1965.
I believe it.
This will come up to their 60th anniversary now. But
happy anniversary.
This year's event marred in controversy because the winner, David Jenkins, was found to have a steel chestnut in his pocket, painted brown so it looked like a real chestnut, after he was victorious in the competition. So David has been competing in the World Conkers Championships since 1977. He's never won the competition until this year.
Okay.
And people started picking up a little like, what's going on here? When his opponent in the men's final, Alistair Johnson Ferguson, always trust a man with three names, raised concern after his conker, quote, disintegrated after just one hit. David denied using the fake conker in the tournament and said he only had it on him for humor value.
That's not going to work, Doug.
No, it's not going to work. After winning the men's competition, David actually then lost the overall final to women's champion Kelsey Banschbach.
Oh, interesting.
The United States. I don't think maybe she's from German.
Americans are in this? Oh my god.
Banschbach. And she only took up the game last year. So what happens, right? Just to explain. So basically, for fairness, what would happen is that let's just say me and you were now facing off in the Conkers Championship. They would have some pre-made Conkers in a bag.
Okay, that's very
And they would walk up to you, and you would put your hand in and pull out your Conker.
Cool.
And I would pull out mine. So it's all fair. They're all competition standard Conkers, and so it's all about the strength of what you could put into it. And then obviously what's now is being alluded to is that he was then using the sleight of hand to pull out his steel Conker.
Whole thing could happen.
And win the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. So one, I would like to know how this was discovered in his pocket. Like, what led someone to go like, let me look in your pocket there, David. What's going on there, David Allister? And then two, what the fuck, man? What do you?
Why?
I not only just why.
Well, no. Here's the question. Why I asked why is because
why don't you have a better story than I had it there for comic value? Like this was. My brother gave this to me before we got there. Like this is a family heirloom. My daddy's
I found this on the ground and I was about to report it, but then I got called. Like something.
Charm bracelet, yeah, like something. Anything other than like, oh yeah, it was just there for comedic value. Who's laughing now? Stupid.
What makes this even more batshit crazy is that when I was digging deeper into the World Conkers Championship, there's no fucking prize money for the winner. It's a charity event.
Yeah, okay.
So why are you fucking cheating to win a charity game? Like, what the fuck?
There's a little trophy or a plaque or something that says he did it. And he's been, as you said, he's been doing this a while. But still, just... I can't even say the word anymore, and I've already said too much.
You don't want to make yourself too guilty.
Don't want to alienate the Surf Squad.
As of recording, apparently the World Conker Federation, I don't know what they're actually called, but whatever they are.
I want to look at the sport now.
They are still investigating using video footage, so nothing has been deemed where it's officially that he's been cheating or not. So as of right now, David Jenkins is still technically the World Conkers champion, but we'll see what happens as the investigation continues.
But then he lost a match after that to the women's champion. So there how many? There's like 2 tiers and then you don't know.
No. So there's a men's competition.
Okay, that's fine.
And then a women's competition.
Of all the sports we've talked about, though, I'm super curious about this.
I'm sure there's video footage on YouTube. You should watch it. To be fair, I think you should.
Yes.
It can be violent as well. Shit can get real. But yeah, so how it works is there's the men's competition and the women's competition, and at the end, the men's champion and the women's champion face off to be the grand champion. And he lost.
Yeah, that's that. You lost to an American girl.
Yeah. You bitch. Anyway, so that's the week in review. If you have any stories that you think we've missed out, or you've got some stories you want to suggest, send them over to enjoywafflebox@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter @wafflebox. We sure as shit would appreciate it. Now David Jenkins, he achieved something, but maybe he cheated. But there are some people out there that aren't cheating to achieve things, and they're achieving things so incredibly well that an Irish brewery is taking notice and being like, oh, look at you, you're so great, here's my Lucky Charms. It's not racist, I'm half Irish. It's now time for this week's Dumb World Record of the week.
Why?
Why? Why would I lie? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
This week's Dumb World Record features a Canadian man. What's that about? Sorry. So friendly. A man named Mitchell Rudy, a canine-loving Canadian, broke the Guinness World Record recently for the most dogs walked simultaneously by an individual.
How many dogs was that?
So, Mitchell Rudy recently took 38 dogs. Bless you. Oh, your mic's still muted. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does it? The blessing doesn't happen unless I hear the thank you. I think that's how God works. I'm not sure. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
You're really blessed. So yeah, Mitchell took 38 dogs on a 1 kilometer walk to break the world record. If you've ever walked on my dogs, Jesus Christ, Oreo, what a saint. She's just recently celebrated her 12th birthday. Happy birthday, Oreo. Daddy loves you. You're a good girl. Who's a good girl? You're a good girl. But then now we've had a brother join the family who's a 9-month-old Maltese, just had his balls removed.
Hey, how's the little diarrhea bag doing?
He's rebelling, which, to be fair, if I had went to bed and then woke up and I had no testicles left, I'd probably be a little bit miffed. So I'm kind of like, all right, I understand, but stop being a dick. Yeah, just walking those two can be challenging. So 38 dogs, fuck that. Unless you see the Milan, then fuck, it's literally never walk in the park. But the dogs participating in the attempt were provided by the Korean Canine Rescue Shelter. Rudy said his attempt was aimed at promoting dog adoption, saying, quote, "We wanted to do something that made these dogs be the champions that they are. These are good dogs. They deserve homes." Now, I concur at that point. Yes, dogs, if you want to go to a rescue shelter, don't buy a dog from a breeder. Adopt a dog from a shelter. That's the way to go. But Rudy, I'm going to have to challenge you on this quote. But saying that you wanted to do something that made these dogs the champions, do the dogs each individually have a certificate of a Guinness World Record? Or does that certificate say your fucking name?
Should just say his name, to be honest.
I'm sure it does. So don't come here, Rudy, claim that you want to make the dogs the champions, and then you're going to stand there all smug with your fucking certificate with your name on, and it doesn't have fucking, I don't know, think of random names. Buster doesn't have Buster's name on it. No. Doesn't have
Spaghetti and Meatball.
Spaghetti Meatball's names on it. No. Doesn't have Santa's Little Helper from Simpsons. What other dogs' names? Come on, think of traditional.
Luchita.
Blank. What?
Luchita.
What? Where does that come from?
It's a tiny little luchador in dog form. Luchita.
Okay.
I made that up.
Sure. Appreciate that. If I'd ever get another dog, I'm naming it Luchita in your honor. But yeah, anyway, I don't think the dogs have certificates. No, you should. But yeah, so you're full of shit, Rudy. And congratulations though for breaking the world record for just grabbing 38 leashes and walking. Because I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean he walked them well. These 38 dogs could have been fucking going nuts, fucking each other and going nuts. He was just dragging them along for a kilometer and then he got a certificate. It doesn't necessarily say he had them under his control. I hate you, Rudy. I fucking hate you.
And that's coming from a dog lover.
Exactly. I
That's
think you're
crazy.
a bad man with good intentions, but bad man. So there you go.
Bad man.
Mitchell Rudy is now the official Guinness World Record holder for most dogs walked at the same fucking time.
You suck, Rudy.
You suck. Still to come on this week's Waffle Box. It's the October 23rd edition of the Birthday Blackjack. Plus, we'll be talking about an Amazon Prime movie that you can check out right now. In this week's movie review. Plus more. So stick around. We sure as shit appreciate it. But we'll be right back after this quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, kiddos, are you sick and tired of always getting soaking wet whenever it's raining? Well, you need to get yourself an umbrella. Umbrellas have been keeping people's noggins dry since 3,000 years before Jeezy Creasy was roaming these here parts. So, don't get wet, get an umbrella. They're an official partner of the Waffle Box podcast.
Place your bets. It's now time for birthday blackjack.
I also like to live dangerously.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box episode 171. And welcome to the October 23rd edition of Birthday Blackjack. Now, if you've never played Birthday Blackjack before, then let me explain how the rules work. So I'm going to list 5 celebrities that are celebrating their birthday on this very day, and yourself will have to guess how old said celebrity is today. And then your score is made up by your margin of error. So for example, if you guess the celebrity's age is 53, but they're actually 50, you're 3 years out, ergo you get 3 points. And the name of the game is across 5 celebrities, you have to keep your score at 21 or below, hence the blackjack element. And as always, you're going to be playing against my co-host extraordinaire, Mr. Kush Hayes, who is currently standing at a record of 13-20, but that does sound bad. But alas, there's a twist to the story. He's on a 3-week winning streak. He's bringing back the franchise, trying to make that playoffs or something. I don't know. But
it's still amazing. This has been going on for 37 weeks now. The majority of the year. And it still feels like a fresh gimmick, like we've only been doing it maybe 6 weeks.
Crazy, right? Crazy.
Yeah, no, but that's how good this is. That's how strong this game is. That's how much fun we're having. Yeah, man, can I do 4th tonight? Like, again, I think the best I'm going to do is 50% this year. But yeah, and again, for those who are just joining us for tonight, I don't have any knowledge of this coming into it. Mike doesn't go like, yeah, Wednesday is did you know Wednesday is the 23rd? Like that. He doesn't tell me any of this shit. So like I go into this as blind as you.
Plus, even if you did look it up, if you ever go to Wikipedia into the birth section, there's a lot of people born on this day. So unless you somehow memorize everyone in the history of October 23rd, it's still gonna be pretty difficult. But yeah. Let me know when you're ready, sir, and I'll give you your first celebrity.
Oh, also, we established 2 weeks ago now that my hands need to be present the entire time. You accused me of cheating. I don't appreciate it, but I'm also not offended.
I suggested there might be some kind of foul play.
Nope, here are my fingers. They're right here, sir. Let's roll.
Fingers.
Number 1.
Celebrity number 1 is drummer for the Melvins, and formerly, before Dave Grohl, he was the drummer of Nirvana. It's Mr. Dale Crover. How old is Dale Crover? You don't know Dale Crover?
I don't know Dale Crover.
Well, he was a drummer for the Melvins and formerly of Nirvana before Dave Grohl. So there's a little bit of time reference for you. Maybe that might help.
50 years old. No, stop. Nirvana was a thing when I was 15, and that was when Dave Grohl's with them. Whoever this gentleman is, he's 58.
58 is your guess.
58, final answer.
Mr. Dale Crover is 57. Wow. Only 1 hour. What a way to start.
Thank you for giving me that extra second. Like, I need to do the math. Like, wow. Okay. 1. So we're at 1.
1 is the loneliest number ever. 2 could be as bad as 1, but the loneliest number is the number 1.
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay, fine. Celebrity number 2, co-owner of AFC Wrexham, and apparently he is also an actor, Mr. Ryan Reynolds. How old is Ryan Reynolds today? You thought I was going to go with Robin McElhenney, didn't you?
I almost thought you were going to McElhenney, yeah. But,
it's not his birthday thing.
Oh, happy birthday.
No, it's not. It's Ryan Reynolds' birthday.
No, I'm saying happy birthday to Van City Reynolds.
Yeah.
Okay. Happy birthday, Deadpool.
Happy birthday.
Anyways, yeah, so he's not an old man, but he's definitely not younger than me. So, 48.
48. Mr. Ryan Reynolds is 48.
Perfect.
Oh, that's another I forgot to mention, by the way. If you get a perfect score, you get to -5 of your score. So that takes you to -4.
Hell yeah.
How you fuck this up is going to be beautiful.
Oh, dude, that happens all the time, too, right?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, 48 today. Happy birthday.
Number 3.
Number 3. Metallica bass player. And Roman Reigns lookalike. Mr. Robert Trujillo.
You said bassist, and I called him a cunt, but I was thinking of Lars, who's the drummer.
Oh no, Lars is the drummer. He's the cunt.
Yeah.
Don't call Robert Trujillo a cunt, because just by looking at him, he will destroy you. Like,
seems like a nice guy. Actually.
Like the drummer, you can look at him and go, "Bitch, I'll fucking take you." But the bassist, he looks like a scary dude.
I have a funny story about Lars. I'll tell it off story, or maybe I'll tell it after this round. But anyways, Metallica, 60. The gentleman is 60.
60 years old. Mr. Robert Trujillo is 60 years old.
Perfect.
The fuck is happening?
I didn't understand a one word you said.
What the fuck? So that takes your score to -9. You have a hell of a lot of wiggle room.
Yes.
As RuPaul
this has happened
famously
before,
say,
and then I botched it hard.
Don't fuck this up.
Don't fuck this up. Thank you, RuPaul. I'll try not to.
Number 4.
Celebrity number 4 is singer-songwriter and Spanish version of Michael is Miguel. Are you familiar with Miguel's?
That's it. His name is Miguel. Miguel.
His artist is called Miguel.
Like Cher and.
Yeah, he's got one name.
No, I don't. I'm not familiar with Miguel.
Oh.
So this is where we botch things, and then I end up.
Yeah, this is where I get awkward now.
I mean, this is the game. Like, they can't all be people that I know, and they can't be all people my age. So, Miguel, 35.
35 is your official guess.
With no history, no clues, just 35.
Miguel is turning 39 today, which means you're 4 out, which takes your score up to -5.
That's fine. Oh, yeah. I'll take it. I'll take
Give you
-5.
wiggle room of 26 years for the final celebrity, which, no spoiler, but I think you're going to be fine. Anyway. But we'll find out, I guess.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Celebrity number 5, celebrating their birthday today on October 23rd, is Queen of the Dragons, Miss Amelia Clark. How old
That chick is young.
is Amelia Clark?
That chick is super young, but by super young,
And she's also got one of those, like, she's, I don't want to, like, what's the word? I don't want to just demean someone into a sexual being or anything like that. Just let's go straight into their attractiveness. But Amelia Clark is one of those women. You know where you like?
She's a very beautiful woman.
She's good, but she's like, I don't know. It's just like there's nothing like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's just like I don't know why, but I'm very attracted by her. But I don't know why.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know I am attracted to her. She's beautiful. But anyways, you like what you like?
Well, you know what? I'm attracted to her because of her personality. Boom.
There you go. Boom. And you read Playboy for the articles on the Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
On the Wi-Fi.
I respect women.
The hi-fi. Yeah, you do.
They're not just
31
beings.
I know he's old, but yeah, Game of Thrones. That was shit. That was 7 years ago now. So she's 31.
You're 31.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, with the wiggle room that you had, you could have guessed. I don't know. Like you could have guessed like 12, and you'd have been fine, probably. I don't know. But you guessed 31, and Amelia Clark turns 38 today, which means you were 7 out. You end this week with an official score of 2.
Oh, wow!
Which is probably the best, definitely your best score.
I think that's the best score I've had.
It's got to be the best score you've ever had. And for the fourth week running now, you are, Mr. Hayes, a winner.
You win. So we've had games where like I've hit the nail on the head 3 times. That's a record I still need to break. I need to do 4. But in every instance before tonight, you'll throw some name at me and I'm like, I don't know, he's 43. You'll be like, he's 74. I'm like, oh no. And then I'll just be dead there.
How the fuck did you get Robert Trujillo spot on?
That's the Metallica guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Metallica. It's Metallica is only slightly older than I am.
Damn. Well, congratulations.
It's a San Francisco band. Like it's Metallica. Yeah. Like I thought you were throwing me a bone there. To be honest, I much like Taylor Swift, I maybe know 5 Metallica songs off the top of my head. I've been to a Metallica concert even. However, like I would not classify myself as a fan. Definitely not a hater. But like it was a very good guess. It would have been one of those situations where like he's 58 or he's 63, and I'd be like, "Oh, good for me!" Like, but wow, like, I was surprised as you were.
The only thing I have against Metallica is like I could like hit play on one of their albums, and then I can go spend a week in the Dominican Republic at an all-inclusive event, and then come back and it's like, oh, track 4 has just died. Like their songs are too long.
Okay.
God damn
I think
it.
it's a fair criticism.
But there you go. Anyway, that wraps up this week's episode of Celebrity Birthday Blackjack. If you were playing along, let us know what your score was in the YouTube comments below. Or if you're listening to the Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartMedia, Odyssey, Good Pods, however you get the audio podcast. Let us know on Twitter at Wafflebox what your score was. I'm sure it wasn't as good as
What was up with the superfan so-and-so?
Alex.
Superfan Alex.
There we go.
We haven't heard from him in a minute.
Maybe. Well, he was mad at us for missing an episode 2 weeks ago.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Did he tag you on Twitter?
Yeah, he was like, what the fuck? Like Wednesday morning, he was like, where the fuck is the new episode of Waffle Rocks?
Okay, well, that's nice. He cares.
He cares.
Superfan Alex cares. And
he cares.
Sorry, I botched your name, son.
He cares to the point of where when I responded, sorry, we're missing this week because I'm sick. He was like, record it from bed.
Yeah.
So like it was like he cares, but meh.
No superfan so-and-so.
Mike
needed his bed rest. Mike needed his bed rest.
But like any good man, if you don't already, we're very good podcast friends with the Pastor Gravy fellas. Alex Middleton, good close personal friend of mine, does the Pastor Gravy podcast. And that's the best way to spend your Wednesdays. Listen to Waffle Box in the morning or the early afternoon in Waffle Box, Pasta Gravy in Wednesday evening. Check it out. If you don't already, at Pasta Gravy Pod on
Twitter. Who doesn't love gravy?
Who doesn't
I'm surprised when anyone says like, no gravy, thank you. I'm like,
what the fuck? I'm like, no, bitch, pass me the gravy.
Yeah.
Hence why I like the
podcast. Also, like, who are those assholes who can't pass you the gravy or the joint? Like, oh, no. I was like, no, you don't have to use it. Just pass the fucking thing over.
Give me the fucking gravy.
You're in You're at the table. You're in the rotation. You're a part of this. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but you do have to pass the fucking shit over.
Yeah. Right? What's the fucking problem?
Right? I've had that conversation multiple times. I'm just like, what's your fucking problem? Just pass me the fucking thing.
Pass me the gravy.
Do I have to reach around you, you fucking cunt? Like,
well, nobody minds a reach around every now and again, but I
don't want to reach around this.
Well, maybe he's got a nice personality. Anyway,
that's why he's not passing the thing.
Check us out next week for the final episode of Celebrity Blackjack on in October, because we're almost close to Halloween season.
Spooky episode.
Spooky episode next week. But yeah, let us know how you got along, blah, 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 and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, last year I was invisible. I don't know how I'm going to top that.
Maybe next week you'll tell me you're invisible, but you just won't show up.
Oh shit!
And I'll be just talking to myself. And Lathan.
What if you did a lot of something like that, and then you just responded to answers I've not given you? Ooh. Movie magic can make this happen, actually. Anyway, let's get into the next thing.
Let's go to the next thing. Coming up now is a segment where Kush reviews a movie in a section that we like to call Kush's Movie Review.
Kush's Movie Review.
This week's movie review is Brothers, a movie about brothers. Ah, yes, it's a tale as old as time. A man and woman bump uglies. He takes his erect penis and inserts it into her vagina, and then some back and forth happens, and then he releases his ejaculate into her womb, and then the egg grabs hold of that sperm. It's like, I'm gonna take your DNA and I'm gonna create a human being. And then the woman holds on to that for like 9 months, and then goes and plops out a male. And then they realize, this is fun. We should do this again. And then the man, maybe on his birthday or Christmas, is allowed to put his erect penis again into the vagina and go, oh dear, and then the womb's like, oh, hello again, and then grabs the sperm DNA, how happens again, and pops out another man, and the two men are now on this earth with the same parents, and they are brothers. Check it out now on Prime Video. There you go. That's Brothers for you. How's the movie, Kush?
Well, it's better than the high school biology film reel you just described to us. However, as you mentioned, this is Brothers. It is rated R, and it is a solid 90 minutes. And as you again just mentioned, it is available on Amazon Prime if you have a subscription. This is directed by a gentleman named Max Barbaco. Yeah, he's done a couple of things before this, a lot of indie stuff neither of us have heard of. The one thing you might have heard of, Mike, and I'm not even sure about that, is during the pandemic, he was one of those unfortunate souls that had a movie released during the pandemic called Palm Springs, which was Andy Samberg doing Groundhog Day. I didn't
It
see
wasn't
it.
that bad.
Okay, oh, so you did see it. Okay.
I remember that during the height of the THV outbreak. Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie.
I didn't see it. I don't know if I had the access to see it, but I didn't hear a bad thing about it. I didn't hear much about it, but what I did hear, it was good. This is written by two gentlemen, one named Ethan Cohen, not to be confused with Ethan Cohen, of the Cohen brothers.
I've never seen them in the room at the same time.
Winning, yeah. And then McCone Blair. McCone Blair. He's more of an actor than he is a writer. He's been in a bunch of little stuff, in small characters, but whatever. Great cast. We got Mr. Josh Brolin, Mr. Peter Dinklage. We got Brendan Fraser, Academy Award winning Brendan Fraser, Academy Award winning Glenn Close, and then Taylor Page, who we've talked about in Zola and the most recent Beverly Hills Cop 4. She's just a pregnant mom in this one, not to diminish her acting ability, but she don't have a lot in this, but she's there and she's good. As we discussed at the top of this episode, this is a movie that is currently available for streaming on Amazon Prime. I don't believe it is anywhere in a movie theater at this moment. Had things gone better this way, we talked a lot about our weekend, and I just couldn't make it to the theater. Otherwise, this would be a Smile 2 review. By the way, I've only been hearing great things about Smile 2, so maybe go see Smile 2. That's probably not fair for my brother's review, but here we go. Thus being a made-for-streaming movie, and maybe that wasn't the plan going into it, but that was the final execution. This feels like a made-for-TV movie. I just said two different phrases there, Mike. When we were growing up, we had made-for-TV movies. Yep. Stephen King's It, Stephen King's The Stand.
Bambi 7.
I don't know of a Bambi 7, but maybe.
Well, Disney used to do that a lot. They would do like random knockoff movies that.
Sure. There was The Next Dirty Dozen. There was stupid shit like that, and I think It and The Stand probably are the best reviewed ones, but like also there was the final night 4. The final night of The Stand was 2 hours of those cunts just walking home from Las Vegas, and you're just like, oh fucking hell, this is boring. Anyways, this movie comes, despite being rated R by the Motion Picture Academy of America. I don't know what it means anymore. It's rated R, and there's F-bombs. A couple guys get shot. This is a tame movie. This is a very tame movie. Is it immature? No more than an Adam Sandler comedy, but it's only okay. What happens is we meet two brothers. They are twins. They are not identical twins, but they are twins. So we see the Josh Brolin character played by a young kid. We see the Peter Dinklage character played by another kid. And they're testing shit out, and they only know life of crime. Mom comes home Thanksgiving on the run from the cops with her boyfriend who has been shot in the thigh, and they need their runaway bag. The boyfriend who's been shot asks for a plate of turkey, and there's a chase. And anyways, long story short, these are two brothers. They come from the most dysfunctional family for whatever city they're in these United States. And one of them doesn't like it, but the Josh Brolin character doesn't like it, but the Peter Dinklage character can't get enough of it. And he loves it. And he wants more of it. And every score he gets is a new thing. And there's actually a fun montage where, like, a comic book store is robbed. And a video game store is robbed. Oh, a truck filled with beer kegs? That shit gets robbed and hijacked. Anyways, long story short, this ain't a great movie. It's fine. It's tolerable. It's nothing I want to throw on again. Beverly Hills Cop 4 might be the best streaming movie we've seen this year. Where I was just like, you know what? I had fun with that. I'm gonna throw it on and just put it on in the background. Not even pay attention to it again. That was my level of enjoyment with that. This I was just like, this felt like homework. Not necessarily to get through, but to get to. I was just like, I kind of wish we didn't have to do this review today. Josh Brolin, Peter Dinklage, they have very good chemistry. Brolin, who is 45 years old in this movie, I think he's a little older than that. But anyways, he plays a hollow shell of a man. Like, he's been abandoned by his mom. He's been forced into a life of crime that he doesn't like. He's got a brand new wife. They're expecting a brand new baby. This is all cliche stuff. But he's also working at the fucking KFC. And the day he's going to ask his boss for a promotion and a raise, that motherfucker fires him. And he's just like, he's just jaw dropped on the floor. He's stunned. It's actually a very good character for Brolin. Peter Dinklage plays naughty Dinklage, and that can be fun, but he's phoning it in. It's not his best performance by any means. He's played better sleazy characters than this, and he's just there. At some point, Glenn Close comes in. She is the aged mom, and I think she's just there too. I don't know what the point is. Like when we did the review for Ricky Stenicki, that whole thing took place in like New Jersey, and I was like, "Are you sure it wasn't Las Vegas?" And you were like, "No, Steve, no, Kush, it's New Jersey." They were in Atlantic City. I was like, "That's so weird," because they filmed this in Australia. Like, there's no tax credits involved in this. I don't know where they filmed this, but it wasn't anywhere like exotic or international. I feel like they filmed this in Vancouver, Washington, or Detroit, Michigan, or somewhere in the Northeast where just, wasn't a big deal. Goal is, again, mom on Thanksgiving and her boyfriend, who would end up dying, stole a bunch of emeralds, went on the lam, and then things went sideways, and then the boyfriend with the emeralds had to get buried. 30 years later, Peter Dinklage gets out of jail, recruits his brother Josh Brolin to let's get these jewels, but guess what? He doesn't tell him the exact truth. Josh Brolin's trying to live a good life, but guess what? He gets roped into a bunch of dumb shit and has to do a bunch of dumb shit to get out of it. Long story short, man, again, it's only 90 minutes, and I love that time frame. It's not the longest 90 minutes, thankfully, but I felt like I could have been doing anything else in these 90 minutes. It's fine. There's very few chuckles. I'm never bored. I don't hate any minute I'm watching this, but I'm just like, everyone here has done so much better. So, I would love to give this a 3. I'm giving Brothers rated R, available on Amazon Prime with a subscription, 2 out of 5.
There you go. Brothers, available on Amazon Prime. 2 out of 5.
It's weird because it's got a great cast. I don't think I even mentioned Brendan Fraser is the bad guy in this. Again, he's fine, but he's not blowing me out of the water. Not even blowing me. That would have been something. So,
but yeah, like I said, as we said in our text conversation prior to the show starting, like a wacky comedy buddy movie starring Peter Dinklage and Josh Brolin as brothers. Like, how can you fuck that up? How can you fuck that up?
Yeah. I still have a Brothers movie with Peter Dinklage. It's a remake of Twins we've been hearing about, or the sequel to Twins. I want to make it a remake. Guess what? Peter Dinklage, Kevin Hart, they're twins. It's the same plot as the original Twins. And guess what? Peter Dinklage is making midget jokes directed at Kevin Hart for 100 fucking minutes. That's a blockbuster right there. That's gonna be in the top 5 for 8 weeks in the summer. I guarantee it, guys. Make it happen. Cut the check to me now.
Boom. There you go.
Although we can't have it now because we had this fucking movie. So fuck off.
God damn it. Fucked it up.
They fucked it up. They fucked it up. This could have been this. We could have done a remake of Twins with Dinklage and Kevin Hart, and it would have been so much better.
Way to go, Jeff Bezos. Dick.
Yeah, this was out of his control. But I hear what you're saying.
Anyway, let's wrap up this week's episode.
Yeah, why not? We've had some
by
fun.
making us feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
No, I
in a segment that we like to call the feel-good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story takes place in Chicago, the Windy Apple, as people call it. So last week at the 2024 edition of the Chicago Marathon, a man by the name of Curtis Hargrove stood out from the trail of runners, not for his speed, but for his footwear. As Curtis Hargrove, whilst running the grueling 26.2 mile race, he wore 3-inch red high heels for the entire marathon. The 35-year-old Canadian set out to run the marathon for a good cause, raising awareness for women and children affected by domestic abuse.
Okay.
Before the event, Hargrove partnered with Stepping Stones Crisis Society, which is an organization advocating for women and children affected by domestic abuse. In an email statement to today.com, the organization said it was grateful for the awareness it will bring on gender-based violence. During the race, the high heels started to take their toll. Pretty quickly, he got blisters on the bottom of his feet, and by mile 15, he had to take the heels off to get his feet bandaged up. He said that he reminded himself that the pain that he was going through is nothing compared to the women and children that go through this abuse every single day. As Curtis made his way through the course, people were sharing their own stories with him of their own domestic abuse, including one woman who says that she survived 17 years of domestic abuse. Good Lord.
Yeah,
so after raising awareness and a lot of money for this charitable cause, Curtis Hargrove, in 3-inch high heels, completed the marathon in 7 hours and 5 minutes. Which I'm not gonna discuss the timing of it. If anything, oh that was fast, oh that was slow, blah blah blah. 7 hours.
I wouldn't have made it.
7 hours running in high heels.
He had to abandon the high heels, not after. So if you would ask me when did he abandon the high heels, Kush, I'd have been like, he abandoned them within half a mile. No, 15 miles.
No,
15 fucking miles.
He didn't abandon. He took them off, bandaged his feet, and then put those suckers back on. So he ran the entire 26, but he had to take a pause for the cause to rest those puppies. But it's 7 hours.
I can complete that in 7 hours in regular sneakers. No,
because I imagine most men at this point, if you haven't, live a little. At some point, man, you've put some high heels on, right? Because you've wore high heels at some point.
Of course not.
No,
not
even out of curiosity, what do these fuckers feel like? Slip on.
So I have a size, depending on what size boot I'm wearing.
Oh well, maybe not now, but as a younger, when my feet were smaller, like as a child,
No.
Well, you've missed out there, sunshine.
Oh well, I don't think I did, but okay.
Yeah. Anyway, spoiler alert: high heels aren't easy to walk in.
No, they
let
sound
alone
fucked up.
run.
You gotta appreciate your date, by the way, when she's wearing high heels. Compliment those shoes.
Just the facts, ma'am.
But yes, so congratulations to Curtis Hargrove for completing a Chicago Marathon whilst wearing high heels for an amazing cause. So yeah, if you want to go to Google, check out Stepping Stones Crisis Society, a fantastic charity that helps support women and children affected by domestic abuse. It's an amazing cause. And again, Curtis, I salute you. We salute you.
I salute you too. Also, let's take the high heels out of the equation. This man ran a 26-mile marathon on his tiptoes.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So take the high heels out of the equation. The guy just ran on the balls of his feet, whatever. Like just whatever that muscle is, just that toe knuckle. He ran on that for 26 miles. I could not do that.
Nope. Fuck that. But so he was basically doing that, but then he also had like this thing at the back of his feet stabbing him every time he stepped, which is basically
and then he got blisters on top of it, and then kept going, and then kept going. So yeah, again, we've already given him his flowers, as the kids say today. But yeah, no, good for you, dude. I couldn't do it.
What a guy. But there. So that wraps up another episode 171 in the books of the Waffle Box podcast. Christopher Hayes, are you getting back into the audio game yet?
I'm not getting back into the audio game. However, things have transpired. As I mentioned, I'm no longer a part of the Bosnet.family anymore. However, if you still want to access all the content that was on the URL, kushhaze.com is the same damn website, but we just it's I've had this URL forever. It's always been attached to that. The Bosnet.family is going to eventually go, if not to Little Sister Hayes, somewhere else. Anyways, kushhaze.com for everything that hasn't been updated for the last year and a half. However, we also still have the YouTube channel. If you want to find the Kick-Ass Movie Podcast, Sweet Science Cinema, The Microdose, the Kush and Kai Microdose, everything that is available is on the YouTube channel. Also, I've just given it to you twice now, so figure it out.
Marvelous. There you go. Go to kushhaze.com.
Kushhaze.com. Everything's
fantastic archive.
The RSS feeds are all disappearing within the next 15 to 30 days.
Damn.
So, but everything will still be on YouTube. Everything will still be at that website I just gave you. We'll figure out another RSS feed down the line.
Don't worry, guys. I'll help him out. I'll have a word. We'll make sure they never go away. But yeah, that's all from, I guess, all from me, all from him. Nothing else to promote. Producer Laven, any final thoughts?
Another fan-fucking-tastic episode, if you ask me. Now I'm off to work on my Welsh accent and see if I can sneak into Ryan Reynolds' birthday party. See you all next week.
Okay. I look forward to hearing about that.
It's not about it. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.
Play me off, Johnny.